Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. In today's courtroom battle, a father is trying to defend his financial struggles while the court takes a closer look at his spending, overdue child support, and his behavior. You see, it's not just about the money. On Christmas Eve, a parenting exchange escalated to the point where the mother had to call the police. And when the tough questions start, his answers don't do much to clear things up. Let's see how the judge sorts this one out.
All right, then. Yeah, YouTube's up and running at this point. Anyway, the court will note for the record that the parties are both present, and like I say, counsel for Ms. Poston is present, counsel for the state is present at this time. This matter is reset to get the opportunity to get further financial information from Mr. McLaughlin to confirm what the modification we're looking at should be at this point. Anyway, the court will now, at this time, go ahead and ask for an opening statement from the state of Texas to tell the court what the state's requesting we do here today, and then allow the counsel for Ms. Poston to do the same as Mackins. Mr. McLaughlin, again, probably heard this before, but I don't let pro se litigants make opening statements. At the end of the hearing, if you wish to make a closing statement or closing argument, you can do so, but opening statements is just to tell the court what the lawyers are requesting we do based on the pleadings. And since you're pro se and have no pleadings, that's pro se litigants always make closing arguments anyway when they make opening statements. So I know it's a fine line, but they don't. They most of the time they don't get it. But the bottom line is, at the end of the hearing, you'll always have the opportunity to tell the court what you want and why you want it. If you don't think that came out in your testimony, if you do think it came out in your testimony, you can reiterate it to the court at the end. So at this time, I'll go ahead and start with the state and then go with counsel for Ms. Poston, and then we'll start the hearing as needed. Thank you. You may proceed this time, Ms. Mongat.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state is seeking final orders in this case based on the modification and confirmation of arrears pleading filed in May of 2024. It's the state's understanding that a modification is appropriate based on the party's prior order having been signed in June of 2017. And the state's understanding of the last hearing on January 14th, Your Honor, is the state was in the process of direct examination of Mr. McLaughlin when the tax returns from 23 were about to be introduced into evidence. This included both his personal and his business income. And while the state has made calculations as to both, the state is asking for an appropriate ruling as to which income we're using to get the 20% of gross resources as child support amount. The medical and dental, I believe, are undisputed as being in place through Ms. Poston's current spouse. And while those cost her $217.50 on medical and $41.06 on the dental, I don't believe we had a dispute as to Mr. McLaughlin reimbursing. We just don't know which amount we're using to ensure we're not going over the 9% or 1.5% caps. Additionally, Your Honor, the state is seeking the court's denial of the request for attorney's fees from the Attorney General's office in both of Ms. Poston's answers to the court.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Mackman.
Yes, Your Honor, we're just asking that the child support amount be set properly based off of Mr. McLaughlin's personal income tax and business income tax, and that the gross amount be set at like the 160,000 amount with some deductions versus a $34,000 per year amount. We're also asking that the finding of child support be retroactive to the date of service which was in July of 2024, and that we confirm any arrearages as well. In addition to that, we are asking that Mr. McLaughlin have to reimburse the $258.56 per month for the medical and dental support.
All right, thank you very much. Anyway, at this time, I'm going to go ahead and ask the two parties to go ahead and raise your right hands. So let's get you on the oath, and I'll let the two lawyers ask questions. And like I said, at the end, we'll go ahead and do the closing, and we'll take it from there. So at this time, like I said, do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth will help you?
I do.
I couldn't hear you, Ms. Poston. It kind of got muted out.
I do, yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, your microphone's a little low, but I heard it that time. Anyway, you're both officially under oath, and then I'm gonna go ahead and let the state call their first witness, and we'll get this one started. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Mr. McLaughlin. Sir, what is your full name?
Garrett Patrick McLaughlin.
Who is the child in this case?
My son, 11-year-old Quentin Poston McLaughlin.
Sir, you recall the hearing we started on January 14th, correct?
Yeah.
And you were able to hear both my opening statement and Ms. Madkin's today?
Yes.
And sir, previously you testified to this court that you had no problem with Ms. Poston both maintaining the health and dental insurance in place for your son, but also being responsible for some reimbursement of the medical and dental premiums.
Yeah, some reimbursement is fine. If they would have asked me whenever they started that, if I would help out, that would have been, something I would have agreed to. But without any, previous requests to help with the medical or dental getting thrown at me kind of surprise, I still think I'm paying $104 or whatever it is to state medical whatever. So if that was something that should have been adjusted a while ago, then a heads up would have been nice, I guess. But yeah, I don't mind helping them out pay for that.
And sir, you don't have any competing health or dental insurance in place for your son, correct?
I do not.
And sir, that prior order for support from you, the 387 child support, the 109 medical support, was set in 2017, is that correct?
I believe so.
And since that time, sir, there's been a change to your employment status.
Since 2017, yeah.
And sir, at this time, what do you do for a living?
Currently, I own and operate Kooks Beach Rentals. It's a golf cart rental company in Port Aransas, Texas, where I live.
How long has that been your source of income?
This is my getting into my fourth season here, excuse me. So 3 years, I guess.
And sir, since we're approaching the end of January, do you have updated financial information aside from the tax returns that we've already referred to in our opening statements?
I do not have for 2024 yet, no.
When do you expect that to be available?
Hopefully in March.
And sir, the returns that you had submitted, was that prepared by you or someone else?
That would be I hire somebody to take care of the taxes for me. I don't understand all that stuff.
Okay. And sir, previously you understood that the state was going off of 20% of your net monthly income. So as a self-employed individual, we would take the appropriate things out, but otherwise multiply your resources by that 20%.
Okay.
And sir, you had said that paying the full 258.56 for your son's medical and dental, and then the state's low calculation of 40 something would be too much for you to afford.
That would be difficult where I'm at right now, and I'm, financially burdened with everything going on. But like I said, I would do my best to make that work. Just $600 a month is a lot for me.
And sir, you also understood that Miss Madkins was wanting the court to go ahead and look at the full income of you and your business in calculating support, correct?
Correct.
Why is it that you disagree with it?
Well, because if you look at it, I lost $20,000 in business last year. So what am I going to pay child support on? A net loss?
All right, okay. That's an answer, sir. I'm sorry. No problem. It was an open-ended question, so that's not a problem. Thank you. But don't be flippant, sir. Okay, we know. If you got a reason, let us know. If you don't, then just go with that. All right. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I don't understand.
Okay, sir. You kind of I'm gonna go ahead. I'll go ahead and let this. I'll go ahead and let that one slide. I'll let the state just ask their next question, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Mr. McLaughlin, why is it that you decided to start your own business rather than continue with your prior employment by someone else?
Well, I've been the general manager there for several years and figured, the boss wasn't doing the best that I thought could be done for the company, and I was basically doing everything anyway. So I got myself a couple of golf carts and gave it a shot.
And sir, what was it you were earning prior to you deciding to go out on your own?
What was I earning prior to going out on my own? I think I was close to $60,000 a year.
And sir, did you have any idea about the losses you'd be taking having your own business?
Not exactly. First business, so I wasn't prepared for all the different pitfalls and expenses that come along with that.
And sir, was there any specific request you wanted the court to consider with regard to when this modification should begin?
Um, Probably today, if that's where we're at. This is the court date, and I don't want to get stuck with a hefty bill of, from last May or whenever this was first opened. That'd be difficult for me.
And sir, based on the prior orders, you were ordered to pay the support through the state disbursement unit, nothing direct to Ms. Poston, correct?
Correct.
And sir, would you agree that as of yesterday or at any point that the court says we'll start support the month prior, you likely had a balance?
Yeah, I've got a balance.
And so, sir, just since we are looking at today, would you agree that as of yesterday, the 26th, it was owed $387.38 for child support arrears?
I think it was 600. I just looked at something this morning about it. I think I'm 600 behind on child support right now.
And Mr. McLaughlin, if you could listen to the question carefully, I was asking specifically
Oh,
for child support arrears and not a combination of that and medical support.
oh, sure. Yeah, I just lump them together since they come out together. But yeah,
So a total of 669.66 sounded correct to you?
yes,
And you understand, sir, the state would be separating them out based on the specific debt type and putting a repayment amount again to each specific thing.
sure.
Um, and sir, with that 60,000 that you testified to previously making, you had no dispute with that being split over 12 months being a gross of roughly 5,000?
Uh, I believe so. Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. And Your Honor, at this time, state offers into evidence State's Exhibit 1, that financial activity report, and then Mr. McLaughlin's Exhibit 1, his tax returns.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, sir. This is stage one. This is the financial activity report in your case that shows what you have paid
Mhm.
in child support and cash medical over the years. Any objection to court having stage one, sir?
No.
All right. Now this is yours, and technically it's the sense the state's kind of presenting it. Any objection to court having your tax information, sir?
No.
All right, so I'm calling that respondent fathers number one, and it is admitted, and stage one is admitted. You may proceed at this time, Ms. Mongat. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And earlier, sir, you were saying you had a specific loss to the business. So what amount were you saying was, or sorry, were you asking the court to set a specific amount of support for you?
Could you repeat that one more time?
Yes, sir. Based on the tax information that was just admitted, is
Yeah.
there a specific amount of support you're asking this court to set for you, and which income information are you asking the court to base it on?
Just my personal income. The business should be omitted. That's just cost of doing business stuff. If the boy lived with me, then he'd be living under my personal income. That's how it would be in my house.
And so, sir, as far as a dollar figure that you would be able to pay wanting the court to order, do you have one?
Like I said, $600 a month. I would do my best to do, but that would be difficult. And that would be
All
including
right.
The assistance in the medical that Crystal's wife holds.
And sir, have you ever served in the military?
I have not.
Have you ever received any type of disability finding?
Any what?
Disability finding?
No.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Bongad. You're a witness, Ms. Mackin.
Mr. McLaughlin, you stated that your previous employer, you were making about $60,000 a year, correct?
Yeah, not my previous employer, but 2 employers ago. Because when I got let go from that job, I went as a auto mechanic or a golf cart mechanic for a little while with another company next door before I started roughly the same time I was doing my business.
Okay.
But yeah.
So then based on the guideline child support and giving you credit of $258 per month for the medical and dental insurance, your support would be $787.88. Would you agree with me?
You were doing the math there. I don't have a pen and paper.
Would you say that it's okay if it came out of the child support calculator?
If that was, yeah, I mean, that's $60,000 a year, probably sounds right.
So then you would agree with me that at a minimum, your child support would be $787 a month and 88 cents.
Maybe during that time that I had that position at that pay.
Okay. And then now you have been owning this rental company, or sorry, this golf cart company for 3 years, correct?
Mhm.
And in those 3 years, you've brought in a substantial amount of money, correct?
What's substantial?
I mean, based on your tax return in 2023, it was $160,508.
Sure. And what did I spend?
Okay.
Okay, so here's the deal. You don't get to ask the question. Okay. You gotta listen to the question and answer the question as the attorney puts to you. At the
What
end
if I
of
don't
the
like the way
hearing,
they're
I can
phrased?
allow you to make a closing statement, closing argument, what you want me to do, sir. But again, just listen to the question and answer the question. Thank you. If you don't know the answer, just let us know you don't know the answer.
I just don't like the way she's phrasing it
Well,
sometimes.
that's what lawyers do, sir. And you're right now, she hasn't objected to your answer yet, but she's getting ready to. So just answer the question, sir, as asked. That's what happens in court. All right. Thank you.
Best of my ability.
Yes, sir. You may repeat the question, Ms. Matkins.
So, Mr. McLaughlin, in 2023, you brought in $160,000, $160,508, according to your tax return, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And on that tax return, you did you include any cash payments brought to the business?
I don't do cash, only Square credit card apps only because I rent people stuff. They give me cash and I don't have a credit card. I'm sorry. No, no cash. Just card only.
And then looking at your tax return, if I take out all the deductions for insurance and interest, utilities, wages, expenses, it looks like you brought in a total of at least $93,385. Is that correct?
After all expenses, doesn't sound correct to me.
You listed all your expenses on your tax return, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
You listed any advertising fees, insurance fees, anything business related, you listed on your tax return, correct?
Should have been, yeah.
Okay. So then when I calculate it, it comes out to $93,385. It shouldn't be incorrect, correct?
I'm not sure where you're getting that number exactly, but let's move on.
Sir,
Okay.
you, Mr. I'm sorry, sir. I'm the one that gets to say, let's move on. If you don't know the answer, if you're not sure the answer, sir, just say that, okay? You don't have to, but you can't say, you can't make rulings, all right? And that's what you kind of just did, all right?
Oh, I don't mean to overstep you. Sorry there.
All right. So if you don't know the answer, if you're not sure of the answer, just say you're not sure of the answer, and we'll take it from there, okay?
I'm not sure of the answer.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. And Mr. McLaughlin, you stated that the most that you could pay per month is $600.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
However, did you just go to Colorado?
I did. It
Okay.
was great
And
time.
what was the cost of that trip?
$2,000, 2,500 rather, split between me and my girlfriend. And we went with some friends, stayed up there in a cabin.
Okay. And what was that the cost of just lodging?
No, that was everything.
Okay.
Food, gas, ski lift, tickets, all of it.
Did you also go to Puerto Rico recently?
Never been to Puerto Rico.
Did you go on a beach vacation where you were on a boat recently?
Beach vacation where I was on a boat recently. I live on a beach and I have a boat, but I wouldn't call that a vacation.
Okay, why don't you tell us then, or tell Judge Nelson and myself, how many trips have you been on in the past year?
Including camping trips?
Correct, all your trips.
I don't know. I'd have to look through my phone and look at pictures, I guess. I'd say maybe 6 or 7 between camping trips and different, events with my son.
Did you go to Costa Rica on one of those trips?
A couple of years ago, yeah, we did. Stayed with a friend down there.
Okay. Did
Mexico
you
before that.
recently buy a boat?
I didn't buy a boat. I traded for a boat.
Okay. Were you recently selling quite a few things that you own, toys on Facebook, such as
Yes.
trailers? Okay.
I have a few items listed on Facebook Marketplace for sale. Yeah.
So in fact, you have a boat that's listed for $11,500, correct?
Yep.
Okay, you have a Jeep that's listed for $10,500.
Yep.
You have another golf cart that's listed for 2,000.
Nope. That's the one I traded for the boat,
Okay, you
which
have
is
one that's listed for 5,700.
uh 5,700.
A golf cart,
No.
a navy blue golf cart.
Nope, that's the one I traded for the boat.
Okay, so you traded 2 golf carts for the boat then.
No, one golf cart. One $2,000 golf cart. I think I tried selling it for 5,700, and that's when the guy came to me with the boat.
Okay, so then what golf cart did you sell for 2,000 that was like a baby blue or teal?
Baby blue or teal? No idea. No idea what you're talking about.
You buy and sell or trade things frequently?
On occasion, usually just when I need money.
Okay, so about how much income do you think you bring in from buying and selling these toys that you have?
Nothing yet. I haven't sold anything. I only traded that one golf cart for that boat, which
So
I'm
you have
trying.
substantial assets then that you could sell in order to pay child support, correct?
These are technically, the Jeep is for business use. I was trying to get a second vehicle and a second trailer to um, the answer is no. The answer is no, I don't.
Okay. Can you tell me, and Judge Nelson, what medical payments you've made to Miss Poston in regards to any uninsured for Quentin?
Uh, I couldn't. I don't know. I haven't got that spreadsheet in front of me.
Okay. Have you been able to, or have you paid any unreimbursed medical to Miss Poston?
If she's asked me, then yeah, I'm sure I have.
Okay, so you have no issues then paying the $258.56 per month, correct, on dental and medical support?
Yeah, not a problem. I totally agree to that.
And you have no problem still continuing to pay the 50/50 unreimbursed medical?
Yeah.
Including any unreimbursed medical that you have not paid to date, correct?
No, because if there's something that I haven't paid that I haven't been asked to pay for, I don't think I should be forced to pay for it.
So, Mr. McLaughlin, you understand that this is your child as well, correct?
Yeah, I do.
And that any medical treatment for this child is supposed to be split 50/50 with you, correct?
Sure, yeah, give me a bill and I'd be happy to do it. But if there's something from previous years that hasn't been brought to my attention before today, I mean, I don't mind helping out paying it, but
Well, you
It's-
understand that's why you would have 6 months to reimburse the 50% of your share.
6 months to reimburse 50% of my share. Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Given that it wasn't given to you within 30 days, correct?
If it wasn't given to me within 30 days of like going to the hospital and getting a bill,
Of payment, correct.
sure. Within 6 months, yeah, I don't mind, you know. I just like to be updated if he goes to the hospital and
Okay.
let
Can
me
you
know.
also tell us why you are behind on child support?
Times are tough. I'm short on money.
Okay, so were you short on money when you decided to take this trip to Colorado?
Yep.
And you still took the trip to Colorado, but yet failed to pay your child support, didn't you?
Yeah, I put it all on a credit card.
Okay, great. Could you put your child support on a credit card then?
I can, and I have. I have.
But yet you're still in arrears as of today's date, correct?
Yeah, I just noticed that this morning, actually. So you can expect a payment today.
Okay, Mr. McLaughlin. If I calculate your child support based on the $93,385 without taking into account actually your personal income of the $34,000, your child support comes out to $1,185 per month.
Hmm.
Do you understand that?
No,
Okay. What are you willing to pay for your child?
I can, like I said, 3 times. I could do up to $600, including the medical. That's going to be tough for me.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, anything on redirect, Ms. Mangat?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. McLaughlin, I think the last time you testified, you have a one employee.
Correct.
And how much do you pay that person?
About 75,000 a year.
Okay. And was that included? Again, we're looking at the. I know that may be more recent, but we're looking at the 2023 tax return. Did he work for you in 2023, or was that someone else there?
Yeah, he did.
All right, and do you remember what you paid him in 2023?
I think it was the same. I don't think I've changed it.
All right, so he's a salaried employee, not an hourly employee. Is that correct, sir?
Correct.
And what's his salary per month or per week, however you do it?
Weekly, about $1,000, 1,100, I think.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any other questions, Ms. Bungat?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Ms. Mackins, anything else based on what the
Your,
court over? Thank you.
Your Honor, I think you have everything you need to determine child support. If you would like, I can call my client, but I don't believe it's absolutely necessary.
All right, then. Well, I was going to go ahead and let the state call their next witness as they wish to, and we'll take it from there. But nothing else of nothing else of Mr. McLaughlin at this point.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, then, Ms. Bungat.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do wish to call Miss Poston.
All right, thank you very much. Be back in a moment, Mr. McLaughlin, and be thinking about any type of closing statement you want to make, sir. Thank you. All right, Ms. Poston, please state your full name for the record.
Crystal Marie Poston.
All right, thank you very much. You may proceed, Ms. Bungat.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, have you been able to hear all of the opening statements made today and at the January 14th hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
And was the information regarding your son's full name and age correct?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, how does your son have health and dental insurance?
Through my wife's employer.
How long has that been in place?
A little over a year.
And were the amounts of $217.50 and $41.06 the most current monthly premium costs?
That's correct. Yes, ma'am.
And as far as the unreimbursed medical your attorney was asking Mr. McLaughlin about, you and she do not yet have any pleadings on file to get that stuff repaid, correct?
I think we do.
Okay. And then, ma'am, as far as the prior order from 2017, Mr. McLaughlin was supposed to make all of those payments through the state disbursement unit.
Yes.
You haven't gotten anything directly from him in the terms of financial support for your son?
No, I think if anything, it was like maybe $100 a couple years ago.
And ma'am, with regard to Mr. McLaughlin's testimony about his employment history since 2017, were you able to hear all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have personal knowledge of anything different from what he just told the court?
I do feel like he gets paid under the table occasionally with cash. I have heard him say that he works for another company doing breakdown calls. So like if a golf cart breaks down, he'll go pick it up and I guess help. And that's like $200 a cart, I believe.
And how often, ma'am, do you and he discuss his finances, if at all?
Not often. I mean, occasionally we see each other and we'll talk briefly, but we don't really go into depth about anything.
And then, ma'am, as far as his current support amount, that'll be set as the judge decides either July 1 of 2024 or February 1, as Mr. McLaughlin's requesting. Is there a specific amount you were wanting or a specific guideline you wanted the court to consider?
I mean, I feel like he should be responsible for what his business pulls in.
And then, ma'am, were you made aware of his plans to start his own business after the job with the 60,000 a year pay was no longer there?
So yes, I knew that he was wanting to start his own company. I was not aware that he was making $60,000 at his old job because we hadn't really done any child support modifications since 2017, and I believe he was only making like $14 an hour, something like that at that point. So I feel like he probably owes a lot more if we were to actually go back and look.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, thank you very much. Your witness, Ms. Mc. I'm sorry, I almost said Mr. McLaughlin, but I'm going to go with the attorney first. Your witness, Ms. Matkins. Thank you.
Ms. Poston, I've discussed a little bit with you, Mr. McLaughlin's tax return, correct?
Yes.
And you understand that today we are not asking for his gross income. We are asking that the court set his child support based on any income with, or I'm sorry, we are asking for his with deductions for his
Yes.
net income.
Yes,
Correct.
ma'am.
Okay, so we're not asking the court, as you said, to set it based on everything his business brings in solely. We're also asking the court to take into consideration any true deductions or expenses that Mr. McLaughlin has.
Correct. I feel like that's reasonable.
Um, we're also only asking the court today to set Mr. McLaughlin's medical and dental support based on an amount that you are coming out of pocket for Quentin, correct?
Correct.
And Quentin is the only child on that insurance, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
The cost of the we split up the cost of the breakdown for Quentin specifically, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That doesn't include you and or your wife.
Correct.
Additionally, you've mentioned that Mr. McLaughlin does some work on the side in regards to repairing golf carts, correct?
Yes.
Okay. How do you know that?
He told me.
Okay. Mr. McLaughlin himself said, I am able to repair golf carts at $200 an hour in addition to my rental company, correct?
No, it's just like a breakdown call. So the other company that he's working for under the table, if they have a breakdown which they can't get to, they'll call him and he'll go pick it up for $200 a call.
Okay. And you say under the table as in he takes cash payments for that?
Yes.
And this is something that Mr. McLaughlin told you himself.
Well, yes, he said he takes cash. Yes. I don't
Okay.
know if he claims it though.
Okay. Have you ever been to his golf cart rental company?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware of if he takes cash payments there?
I am unaware.
Are you aware of how much he charges per hour or anything of that nature?
No.
Mr. McLaughlin has also went on some recent vacations, correct?
Yes.
And he testified that he's paid about $2,000 to $2,500 for the Colorado trip.
Yes.
Do you believe that's an accurate statement?
Probably not, but I don't know for sure. I
Okay.
mean, maybe split between 3 people, maybe, but I don't know.
Okay. Did he recently buy Quentin ski clothes?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Approximately how much do you think that he had spent just for the clothes for this particular vacation?
Probably close to 300, maybe.
Okay. What other vacations are you aware of that Mr. McLaughlin took?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know.
What about the Costa Rica trip?
So 2 years ago, we both went to Mexico with our son, and then he stayed to go to Costa Rica while me and Quentin returned to the States.
Okay. Does he take a yearly winter vacation that you're aware of?
And then he did, well, I forgot he did take Q also to Costa Rica last year.
Okay. What about his winter trips?
He goes to Colorado and Minnesota every Christmas break for the past 3 years, probably.
Does he normally take Q with him?
Yes.
Is there anything else that you would like to tell the court?
I don't think so.
Okay. Do you think that if the court sets his child support based on the 93,385 figure, that would be in the best interest of Quentin?
What was the number again?
If they set the monthly amount would be $1,185.
I feel like that's fair.
Okay. Do you feel that that would be in Quentin's best interest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you also feel that if the court orders Mr. McLaughlin to pay retroactive child support for $1,185 since July 2024, that would be in Quentin's best interest as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you also feel that it would be in Quentin's best interest for Mr. McLaughlin to have to reimburse $258.56 per month for medical and dental support?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, get that
Passing
back to me again one more time, please. 200, I had it down here earlier, but let me.
Yes, sir. It's $258.56.
56, okay. No, I'm sorry, I didn't have the
If you
cent.
need the medical breakdown, it's 217 medical,
Okay,
4156 dental.
4156 dental. Got it. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, any other questions? Ms. Mackins, any other questions of the witness?
Oh, no, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
All right, at this time, Mr. McLaughlin, you're your own legal counsel. You have the right to ask questions of the witness if you wish. But I always let lay people run their questions by me first to see if they're appropriate, because again, I know you're not a lawyer, sir. We get it. So at this time, do you have any questions of Ms. Poston on the testimony that she gave, or any questions about the general circumstances, sir, at this time? If you do, what's your first question, please?
Yeah, I'd like to ask Crystal if she's ever stayed at my house.
All right.
Here in Port Aransas, Texas, if she's ever stayed the night in particular.
I'm going to object to relevance.
Just a question I have about her and Kaylee and their financial position about child support.
Okay, so again, that doesn't really go to child support. Everything, all the questions asked are pretty much dealt with child support directly. So why had
No finances.
How? Okay, again, I don't look at her finances, sir. I only look at yours. And
No, my finances. This is in regard to my financial standing.
Okay. Again, it doesn't seem like an appropriate question, sir. So,
well, let me try rephrasing it. Last time Kaylee and Crystal stayed the night at my house, we were up rather late drinking wine, and they both got onto me, and I couldn't tell you what we were talking about.
okay,
That they were, that they didn't need my money and that my child support was, worthless. And I'm just wondering what changed your heart to get a lawyer and sue me over this? Because
okay, here's the deal, sir. That's
an understanding.
Sir, that's not a question that's appropriate. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The questions strictly need to be about what your child support is and going forward. Because again, people change their mind all the time. Sometimes I've had cases where people say, no, I don't want child support. Then 2 weeks later, they're back in court on a motion for new trial because guess what? They changed their mind. So the bottom line is to do that. So at this point, any question you ask has to be relevant to whether or not what the court's going to be looking at doing here today. Or do you a modification of child support, modification of cash medical, modification of dental? That's it. Thank you.
Crystal, how many times have you asked me to help with any medical or dental procedures?
Can you give me a time frame, sir? Can you narrow that down, please?
Last 11 years.
That's too far back, sir.
In the last 2 years.
All right, thank you. You went back behind the old order. All right, ma'am. You heard the question about as far as requesting medical expenses over the last 2 years that you specifically asked Mr. McLaughlin. Do you have a number, ma'am?
I don't have a number. I just feel like I shouldn't have to ask for help. He should be obligated to his child support, which he doesn't really even do that.
Okay.
Like he should.
The question is, you heard the question. Just answer the question, please. Thank you.
Can you repeat the question, Garrett?
Yeah, the last 2 years, have you ever asked me for any help with medical or dental bills?
I have not, but he also hasn't gone to the doctor.
Ma'am. That's the answer to the question. You don't get to add to it. If he has not, he has not. That's the answer. Next question, sir.
Yeah, in the last 2 years, how many times have I verbally and in writing through text message or whatever have I offered to help you or to ask you if you needed anything?
All right, ma'am. Over the last 2-year time frame, has Mr. McLaughlin contacted you about needing anything extra above and beyond child support and medical support, anything along those lines that you can recall, ma'am?
Maybe once or twice.
Okay. Up to 2 times in the last 2 years. Thank you. Next question, sir.
Of those 2 times that you claim, have I denied you or told you no, I couldn't help you?
No.
Personally, I understand it's been quite a few more than 2 times in 2 years.
Okay, sir, you're not. Right now, sir, right now your questions have to be of the witness. You can't be. You're trying to give me testimony in a closing statement. You can give your information, sir. But right now, you can only ask the questions of the witness. So, what's your next question, please?
Sure. You claim that I told you I make $200 on a pickup deal.
Okay. All right. Now, yeah, the answer to that question is yes.
Yeah. If a
elaborate. Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry.
Elaborate your question. Go ahead and tell give the corrector what your question is at this point, man.
Are you under the assumption that I make $200 anytime a golf cart breaks down out here?
That's not the question, sir. The answer she gave earlier is that you do work for a third party, and when you do that work for the third party, she said that you get $200 just for picking that item up to get it taken care of, and it's in cash.
And she said
I'm sorry.
And she said she heard that from my mouth.
Yes,
But if
sir.
I know that's a lie, then I need to come up with a question that catches her in that, just clinches her that she's lying.
That's
So I'm
not the
trying
way
to
that.
think of a way of asking that question where I can prove that I either A, didn't say that, B, she's
Okay, sir, I'm getting ready to stop
doing
you.
the truth.
And I know you're not a lawyer, and that's not the way it works. You get to ask her questions point blank, and she gets to answer. When you want to make a closing statement, you can tell the court that that didn't take place. That wasn't that there was no such information. But for right now, your questions have to be questions specifically, and you don't get to do the circle around and try to get somebody to say something. This isn't the Perry Mason show, no Perry Mason episode. This is the real court of law. So again, and I got to hold you to the same standard if you were an attorney, and I'm giving you that opportunity. But again, you've got to do it just like a lawyer would, sir. Nothing, nothing less.
Doing my best. I only watched so many seasons of Matlock, you know. Now, why wouldn't you ask me for help if you needed help?
Your Honor, objection relevance.
Sustained. Mr. McLaughlin, this is about your child support. It's not about what she asked for, what says what she's entitled to. And
I don't know what
that's
I'm
based on
doing.
a percentage of your net income, sir.
Your Honor, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm doing my best.
I know, sir.
I'll just forego any other questions that I have.
All right, again, I don't mean to give you a hard time, sir, but again, you have the right, but they've got to be, like I said, I tell people that every day in my opening statement, I got to hold you the same standard as if you graduate from Baylor Law. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, I might just be a little emotional, being as it's a personal circumstance and unfamiliar with the ins and outs of the.
All right. Well, in your closing statement, sir, you can go back over any information you said that you think that that Ms. Poston gave was incorrect. But again, you can do that in your closing. I'll let pro se litigants make a kind of a closing statement, closing testimony circumstance. All right.
Sure.
So any
my
other
closing
questions?
No more questions, Your Honor. Just a closing statement, if I could.
All right. Well, you'll do that at the end. I'll let you go last because the lawyers get to tell you first what they're going to ask for. That way you can respond to theirs also. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you might have started writing that down, what you want to say, sir. All right. Okay. Any other witnesses? Anything else on redirect, Ms. Bungat?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Mackin, anything else on recross?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then. Obviously, I know the answer because this is a Zoom. Are there any other witnesses you wish to call at this time, Ms. Bungat?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Mackin, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. McLaughlin, do you have any witnesses you wish to call, sir?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then, folks, I'll go ahead and hear the closing statements and arguments at this time. I'm going to start with Ms. Matkins, go to Ms. Bongat, and then go to Mr. McLaughlin to make his pro se closing statement, closing argument, and relevant testimony, further relevant testimony type statements. Anyway, I'll start with, like I said, start with you, Ms. Matkins. You're up. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor, we just asked that you set his child support at $1,185 per month, and make that retroactive to July of 2024. We also asked that you set the medical and dental support at $258.56 and make that amount retroactive to July of 2024 as well. In addition, we asked that you confirm any child support arrearages at this time. And sorry, I was going to give you the breakdown of the medical support, which is $217 for the medical and the $41.56 for dental. Other than that, that's all that we asked for today.
All right, Ms. Bongat.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's requesting that this court order Ms. Poston to maintain the child's health and dental through her other source, that Mr. McLaughlin be ordered to pay appropriate repayment based on the figures provided in the opening, closing, and testimony of the parties as to the costs. The state seeking confirmation of arrears prior to the start date for the modification, and that the court set appropriate repayments for each, beginning at the repayments, Your Honor, the state would seek beginning February 1 of 2025. That way there isn't too much of a hit with this 7 years in the making modification. The state had calculated, Your Honor, based on Mr. McLaughlin's testimony of the 60,000 previously, with 5,000 being the gross monthly, that it's the 785.76, so roughly 786, and that, and with Mr. McLaughlin paying his employee more than that at this point, 57,200 was the state's calculation of 1,100 a week. And then I believe just a ruling, Your Honor, with regard to the request for court costs from the Attorney General's office. We had opposed that and put it in our answer to the answers requesting it.
All right, thank you. All right, then, Mr. McLaughlin, you're up.
Yeah, as far as my closing statement, I just want to say that I don't take cash payments in my business. I don't do the taxes. I hire that out to somebody else. And as far as the breakdowns, nobody's paying $200 for a breakdown. And if I want to help some friends out, with their businesses, my neighbors, I don't think I should be punished for that. And as far as the clothes and the trips, I'm doing my best as a father to make and create memories with my son, and hopefully lasting memories and lessons. Just doing my best that I know how. That's all I've got.
All right, thank you very much. Right now, I'm going to take this one under advisement and reset this for a ruling this coming Thursday. I will rule on the state's request for no attorney fees from the state of Texas. Ms. Matkins, yeah, I'm granting that. All right, I'm not having the Attorney General come down here banging on my door. Okay, so that's
Sorry.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, hey, you're a lawyer. You put it in your. They're called boilerplate pleadings for a reason. At this time, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and take this one under advisement. I'm going to go ahead and nobody has to show up for the hearing, but we have a regular Zoom docket on this coming Thursday. Is that correct, Ms. Bungat? Belinda? Okay, so I'll make the ruling at that time. I want to go over the father's income tax return, go over that information. Here's the deal, Ms. McLaughlin. Judge almost has one ironclad rule. I don't. If you pay somebody to work for you more than you pay yourself, guess what amount I'm going to use? Okay, so that's the boss always makes more. I'm sorry, that's just the norm. And if you give somebody more than you pay yourself, then that's on you, not me. And your child's not going to. I'm not going to probably allow that. I'll go ahead and look at that also as far as making my determination. I would much prefer to have your current income tax, and you might be one of those people who get it done sometime this spring. But since the tax extension deadline this year is until October 15, 2025, yeah, I'm not going to worry about it, because you don't have to file your income tax for that date, sir. So it is what it is. But anyway, for right now, like I said, I'm going to take this under advisement. I'm going to go over your income tax returns, and I'll make my ruling on this coming Thursday after we do the morning docket call at, let's see, I don't think I have anything. I may have a 10:15. Okay, I don't have anything on this Thursday, but except the general docket. So as soon as we get through calling the roll for the general docket, I'll go on the record and make my ruling. And again, no one has to appear for that. If whoever's not here, the state will send you a ruling letter telling everyone what I ruled, or we could even send you an audio file if you want.
Sometimes it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. The father had explanations for everything, but his reactions in court told their own story. Defensive answers, frustration under pressure, and a tense back and forth with the judge didn't help his case either. Right or wrong, how he handled himself shaped how his priorities were seen. When child support, parenting time, and credibility are on the line, how much does demeanor matter? And when financial disputes play out in court, do actions speak louder than numbers? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more gripping courtroom moments. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.